Hello, colleague. How are you? Dr. Nefertiti Pointer here with the Devereaux Center for Resilient Children. Welcome to our limited series. This time around, we're talking about this powerful concept of culturally responsive teaching practices. I love the way Zaretta Hammond says this. She says, all education is culturally responsive, but whose culture is it responding to? That's the question, and that's why we're here. We're talking about this powerful term, and remember, it's part of your pedagogy. It's not just something you do on a Monday or a Tuesday or a particular month of the year. It is something that we do in all of our teaching practices. And if you're listening to me today as a leader, you have a responsibility for working to create safe spaces where relationships are present and people feel safe to talk about culturally responsive teaching practices, both what I can do, how I can be better, and again, just making the spaces safe. And today I want to encourage you because I sometimes think it can get very overwhelming. People say, oh my gosh, one more thing to do. I don't know how to do the things I'm supposed to do. Well, let's be clear. You are supposed to show up with culturally responsive teaching practices every day. Classrooms, co-teachers, leadership, working with our families. We need to show up this way. And so might I encourage you today to let the children and families teach you? You know, there's this recording and there's some webinars and there's some classes, but you've got the best teachers right there at your disposal, the children and the families. If you keep listening, I'm going to show you an example of how I learned from one of my students. Actually, I learned from one of the brothers of one of my students. We're all learning. And I know, again, it can feel sometimes overwhelming. So today I wanted to say to you and remind you and encourage you, let your families teach you. Let your children teach you. And let you be a ready learner so that you may do what you can to advance the powerful nature of culturally responsive and sustaining teaching practices. What are we going to do this time around? We're going to let them teach us. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to be ready learners. And we're going to show up in ways that we've never shown up before because we're getting quiet. We're giving attention to it. And we know that when we know better, we're supposed to do better. I hope this all makes sense. Go ahead and talk about it in the circles where your children are, where your programs are, and let's get better at getting better. Dr. Nefertiti Pointer with the Devereaux Center for Resilient Children. I'll talk to you soon.